So I'm sure you guys remember what happened with Chudtapping, the number 3 Osu player that recently got restricted because he was basically using the chud tapping method, the dynamic keystroke method, trying to play speed, but he actually got banned because it's actually cheating. It's a bit of a macro, and it had a lot of controversy back then with the DKS method, and ever since then, we haven't really had anything crazy going on with the keyboards recently. It's been pretty bland. We're just using the rapid trigger, using the drunk deer, the routine, the sail device. We're just chill maxing using that, right? And there hasn't really been anything crazy lately. But recently, there's just this one keyboard feature that recently came out for the Razer keyboards called Snap Tap, and I want to talk about it in this video because it's kind of interesting what's going on with this keyboard feature. Since everyone is using the routine, everyone's using the rapid trigger, it's completely fine. Peppy himself was like, yo, it's chill. But this feature here is kind of in the gray zone where we're like, is it really bannable or is it not? And in my opinion, I think it is bannable, but I'll explain why it is later on in this video. Basically, what Snap Tap is, it's essentially where when you're using like a regular keyboard, right? If you like tap two things at the same time, like the A and the D keyboard, if you have like A pressed down and then try to do D, it just like holds you in place. Like you're playing an FPS game. Like let's say you're playing CSGO or Overwatch, trying to hit the headshots, trying to hit the threes, trying to hit the smokes, right? And you guys are probably like, okay, well, I want to try this method called counterstrafing, where it's essentially where if you're trying to strafe back and forth and you want to be moving all the time in CSGO, if you're trying to do that, it actually gives you a lot more movement, so you dodge people's bullets. It gives you a lot of motion and aura while you're moving around trying to do the counter strafing, and it's actually a pretty difficult thing to do, and it requires a lot of skill and precision. But this Snap Tap thing, what essentially does, it allows you to do this counter strafing just for free. Like you don't even have to time it. You just literally, you can be pressing A and then you just press D and then boom, you're steady still and you can hit the perfect accuracy shot. And you can also do this in the freaking Overwatch game. So you're playing Tracer, moving around in the air and shit, and with the Snap Tap feature, you can be literally twerking back and forth with like 0 frames. It literally looks like you're cheating. You're literally dodging people's bullets like your Gojo Satoru from Jujutsu Kaisen, dodging everything and shit. Like, I don't know. It's pretty fucking crazy what the Snap Tap thing can do for FPS gamers. So if you guys are an FPS player, you guys probably want that to become like the new challenger player in like Escape Silver 1 or something, right? So Snap Tap for the FPS games are pretty cool, but we haven't really thought about what can it do for freaking Osu game, because what the Snap Tap thing can actually do, I don't really actually fully understand it that much because I don't know if my brain is big enough to freaking understand the mechanics behind it. But there was this guy who made a Reddit post about it, and he was basically saying why the Snap Tap from Razer and routine will be bannable on Osu. And this guy basically said, here is me, a 6-digit 270k who can stream max like 180 BPM while alting over streaming Yomiuri with no problem. Single tap while holding the other key down. Of course, this is offline. Also ignore my unskilledness and yes, that lower AR because I can't play AR10, blah, 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 blah. So this guy's basically showing his gameplay here, and as you guys can see from the gameplay, like he's obviously said himself that he's pissed off at the game and cannot stream anything higher than 180 BPM. Yomiuri here is like a 220 BPM map, so it's a bit faster than 180 BPM, and it's a bit out of comfort for a lot of Osu players. But this guy, what he can do, he's literally hitting some of the streams, right? But as you guys can see from his keyboard, he's literally doing the chud tapping method where he's pressed down on one key, right? He's got the original key, so maybe his keys are like Q and E. If he's pressing on Q, then he can just single tap on E while hitting the streams, and the only input is him pressing on E instead of pressing Q and E at the same time to do the streams. So what this essentially allows you to do is that it doubles your streaming speed, and you can literally be single tapping streams and hitting them. That's what you can do with this Snap Tap thing. It's kind of like chud tapping, but not really. But this is kind of broken, right? Because it essentially reduces the amount of stamina you need to play the game. You can literally be chill maxing, just single tap everything instead of using 2 fingers. And as a result of that, you'll have a lot more stamina and can actually double your streaming speed. Like imagine a Voxon that's twerking on the Violation DT or something. I don't know, dude. Like this Snap Tap thing is pretty broken, and it's not really bannable yet on the Osu game because I don't think Peppy has really addressed or anyone has even really talked about it yet. It's still something that's pretty new. But in my opinion, as we can see here, it reduces the stamina. This guy, he said that he's pretty pissed off the game. He's playing Yomiuri and he's just twerking on the maps, right? And he's doing it completely with the Snap Tap method. And just as we see from this gameplay, I definitely think it should be banned because you can just get less energy using the Snap Tap method, and perhaps it's just best if we just stick to rapid trigger and the keyboards overall. But honestly, besides that, it's pretty freaking crazy how these keyboards are getting so much more advanced. Like in the last couple years, we haven't really thought about what keyboards are going crazy. Like we kind of just said, okay, well, I'll be fine using the office keyboard, but nowadays we have to use like a mechanical keyboard to play Oath or something. If you want to use a laptop memory, keyboard. Hey man, good luck with that. You're gonna be competing with the absolute ghost of playing speed of playing Rapid Trigger under sale device that they got for $20 from AliExpress. Like, these guys are just absolutely twerking on the game because they have an inherent advantage from using their mechanical outputs. So it's just crazy how more advanced that these keyboards are getting as the years go on. And who knows, there might be a new freaking keyboard feature that allows OSU players to tap like 700 BPM streams or something. I don't freaking know, man. Maybe there's gonna be like an AI assisted keyboard or something. I don't know, dude. But that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. It's kind of a quick one. I just wanted to address this snap tap thing, and also these names are just kind of goofy. Like, we had the previous thing that was bannable called Rappy Snappy from the Wu Team. Like, that's such a goofy ass name. And the snap tap here, I mean, I guess it's a little less goofy, because if it was called like Snappy Tappy, that would be pretty weird. Those guys are saying Rappy Snappy. I don't know, dude. These guys are probably being like Sapnap from Minecraft game or something. I don't freaking know, dude. But the names are pretty goofy. I hope they work on that into the future, but maybe it's a good thing because it allows for the branding to be a lot more recognizable. But that's pretty much all I want to say in the snap tap thing. It's pretty crazy how it's going with the OSU game, and should definitely be banned, but that's just my thoughts about it, and I'll see y'all guys tomorrow.